AI has completely changed note-taking. Today, there are hundreds of apps claiming they're AI notes. Most of them aren't. They're either old note apps with a chatbot bolted on, or transcription tools pretending to be intelligent. But a few tools actually change what notes are, from static text into active thinking systems. So instead of listing features, we asked one question: which AI note-taking tool fits different purposes and use cases at work? Because the same professional may need different tools at different moments. These are 5 AI note tools, built for 5 very different jobs that notes are asked to do. Links to all 5 tools are in the description if you want to check them out. This is Post Software, where we look at how AI is ending the way traditional software is built, bought, and used. If that kind of thinking is useful to you, subscribe. Meet Alex. Alex is a program manager at a fintech company in San Francisco. He runs projects, teams, roadmaps, and decisions. Alex doesn't have a note-taking problem. He has a coordination problem. His notes live everywhere. Meeting notes in one place, tasks in another, strategy docs somewhere else, and half-finished thoughts scattered across tools. What Alex actually needs is to turn notes into action. This is where Notion AI is different. Alex drops everything into Notion: meeting notes, specs, ideas, updates. Notion AI doesn't just summarize text, it understands structure. It turns notes into tasks, tables, project plans, and connected systems. Alex can ask questions like, what decisions did we make last week? What are the open risks across projects? Turn these notes into an execution plan. And the answers come from his entire workspace, not one document. That's the shift. Notion AI is an operating system for work. Core idea: Notion AI replaces traditional notes, task managers, and internal docs for people who think in systems, not pages. If you manage complexity for a living, this is your tool. Meet Maya. Maya is a senior account executive at a B2B SaaS company in New York. Her calendar is packed with calls, client meetings, deal reviews, internal syncs. Now, Maya already knows something important. Zoom and Google Meet can already transcribe meetings. They generate notes. They summarize decisions. They email follow-ups. But she needs Otter because Maya's problem is remembering patterns across dozens of conversations over time. Native meeting transcripts are episodic. They belong to a single call, then disappear into history. Otter works differently. Every meeting Maya attends feeds into a single, growing memory system. Weeks later, she can search pricing objections, budget approval, timeline concerns. And Otter instantly surfaces every moment across all meetings where those ideas appeared, with exact context and speaker attribution. Otter is a long-term memory layer for spoken work, independent of the platform. Core idea: Otter replaces manual meeting notes and fragmented recall for moments when value is created or lost in conversations, not documents. Meet Daniel. Daniel is a revenue operations manager at a mid-sized SaaS company in Austin. He doesn't sit in meetings just to listen. He sits in meetings to make sure outcomes actually happen. Daniel's problem isn't memory, it's execution. After every call, the same thing happens. Notes live in someone's notebook, action items never make it into the CRM, follow-ups slip, and leadership asks, "Why didn't this move?" This is where Fireflies is built for a different job than Otter. Fireflies doesn't just remember conversations. It turns conversations into structured data. Fireflies records meetings, transcribes them, and then automatically identifies decisions, extracts objections, flags next steps, and pushes that information into tools Daniel already uses: CRM, project management, Slack. So instead of, "Someone should update Salesforce," the system updates itself. Instead of, "Can you summarize that call?" the summary already exists, standardized and searchable. That's the key difference. Otter is optimized for personal recall. Fireflies is optimized for team workflows. Fireflies treats meetings as inputs to systems. not artifacts to archive. Core idea. Fireflies replaces manual follow-ups, CRM updates, and meeting handoffs for teams where notes must move work forward, not just be remembered.
Meet Rachel. Rachel is a senior product strategist at a large tech company in Seattle. She reads constantly: articles, research, strategy memos, long threads, and ideas from everywhere. Rachel's problem is that her thinking happens in fragments over time. An insight today connects to something she read 3 weeks ago. A question from a meeting reminds her of an article from last month. Folders don't work for this, and manual organization breaks the moment work gets busy. This is exactly the use case MEM is built for. In MEM, Rachel just writes. No folders, no structure up front, no decisions about where things belong. MEM's AI automatically connects notes by meaning, links related ideas across time, and resurfaces old thoughts when a new context appears. When Rachel searches, she doesn't search for file names, she searches for ideas. She can ask, what have I written about pricing strategy? What ideas connect to this product decision? And MEM pulls together everything relevant, even if she never labeled it. MEM focuses on one thing: augmenting human memory and long-term thinking. Core idea. MEM replaces folders, tags, and keyword search for professionals whose best work comes from connecting ideas over time. NotebookLM by Google is different from every other tool in this video. Not because it takes better notes, but because it's built for moments when understanding matters more than speed. To show how powerful this tool actually is, let's look at how two very different people use NotebookLM in their daily work. First, meet Ethan. Ethan is a senior policy analyst at a consulting firm in Washington, D.C. His work lives in long documents, research papers, policy briefs, PDFs, internal reports, and dense memos. Ethan struggles to understand and synthesize what he's reading. Highlighting paragraphs doesn't help. Copy-pasting quotes into a doc doesn't scale. And weeks later, he can't remember why something mattered. This is the use case NotebookLM is built for. Ethan uploads his sources, PDFs, articles, documents. Then he asks questions. NotebookLM answers only from Ethan's materials. He can ask, what are the main arguments across these reports? Where do these sources disagree? Summarize this policy in plain English. What evidence supports this conclusion? NotebookLM explains ideas, connects arguments, and surfaces insights, all grounded in the original documents. Core idea. NotebookLM replaces passive highlighting and fragmented research notes for moments when your job is to think clearly from complex information. If your work depends on understanding documents, this is the right tool for that job. Secondly, meet Lynn. Lynn is a PhD student in economics at a university in California. Her problem is volume and depth. She's reading hundreds of papers, theory, data, critiques, models, all written by people who disagree with each other. Traditional note-taking fails here. Lynn needs to understand how ideas evolved over time, where authors agree, where assumptions break, and how arguments connect across decades of research. This is where NotebookLM shines for students. Lynn uploads papers, lecture notes, drafts, and references. Then she asks, how does this paper differ from the earlier literature? What assumptions does this model rely on? Explain this section as if I'm new to the field. NotebookLM helps her think through the material, grounded in her sources. Core idea. For students, NotebookLM is a thinking companion for long-term intellectual work. If your job is to understand before you create, this tool fits that moment perfectly. By the way, I'll put links to all 5 tools in the description so you can check them out after this. If there's one thing this video should make clear, it's this. AI didn't just make note-taking faster. It split note-taking into different jobs. Traditional tools assumed one thing, that notes are just text you store and search later. AI tools expose something deeper. Notes are used for very different purposes at different moments of work. Sometimes notes are about turning conversations into memory, turning meetings into execution, turning fragments into insight, turning documents into understanding. And no single tool does all of that well. If you're coordinating work, choose Notion AI. If your work happens in meetings, go for Otter. If notes must drive team workflows, Fireflies is the perfect match. If you're building long-term insight, go for MEM. If you're thinking deeply from documents, choose NotebookLM. This is the post-software shift. Software adapting to how work actually happens, not forcing humans into one rigid workflow. You don't choose one AI note tool forever. You choose the right one for the moment you're in. So tell us, which tool fits your work right now? And which use case surprised you the most? If you want more breakdowns like this, not hype, not feature lists, but real tools doing real jobs, subscribe to Post Software.
This is where we explain how AI is quietly replacing traditional software.